Good Friday morning to you. Welcome back to the John Frederick Show, Common Sense for the Commonwealth. We are broadcasting from the nation's capital. Steve Ray with me here, my executive producer.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday.
Director of editorial content. Although we're inside the Beltway, Steve wishes upon hope that he was in Richmond.
Oh, boy,
broadcasting from the governor's mansion.
Absolutely.
He would be in hog heaven.
I love that building.
Richmond.
Yep.
Steve, you were one of those guys. You were made for Richmond. You
really?
You're a Richmond guy. You should be there right now in the State House, prancing around the governor's mansion.
Wait a minute. I don't prance. At 6'4" and over 200 pounds, you don't prance. I'm sorry.
I know. That's why I was making the joke.
Who do you think I am? Chris Christie in a tutu? Stop that.
By the way, Chris Christie says he's going on a diet because he's tired of people asking him about a diet. I urge him not to go on the diet that I'm on. He doesn't have a prayer.
Speaking of Richmond and that beautiful executive mansion,
yes,
we are absolutely honored once again. Her second appearance, the holder of a Ph.D., Sarah Scarbrough, who is the executive director of the governor's mansion in Richmond, celebrating its 200th anniversary about a month and a week away. Right, Sarah?
That's right. It's coming up quickly.
You've sent out a big blast to people around the Commonwealth, inviting people to RSVP for that event. Can you tell them what's ahead on March 16th, that Saturday?
Sure. It is going to be the party of the year. I can promise you that. It is in celebration of the 200th anniversary of the Virginia's Governor's Mansion, the oldest occupied governor's residence in the United States. We'll start the festivities at 4 p.m. with the National Guard's 29th Division Rock Band. We'll have moon bounces, inflatable slides, the RVA, street foodies, food trucks, all kinds of desserts, a birthday cake that looks exactly like the mansion. We will have a special appearance by a great musician, George Dennehy. He actually has no arms, so he plays the guitar with his feet. Sounds like Jason Mraz. He's wonderful. We're going to have a heritage farm with some great things going on that are from the farmers market and just all kinds of things. So it'll be a fabulous afternoon. And after the party is over at 7, we will then head onto the lawn of the front yard of the mansion, where we'll have the big screen TV, and we will watch the mansion's movie that we're working on right now.
Well, you had John at Moon Bounce, and you had me at Cake. So let's talk about this fine young man, George Dennehy. He recently opened for the Goo Goo Dolls, I know, and has a wonderful performance of Jason Mraz's hit, I Won't Give Up, as well. He's going to be performing just before the premiere of that movie on the mansion lawn, correct?
That's right. We'll have a little teaser from George during the party, but then he will do a 10-minute concert right before the movie, and I promise he is just absolutely amazing.
Now, if people remember back a couple of years, there was an appearance by a guitarist who plays in the same way that George does before a Pope's appearance in Los Angeles. This is about 15, almost 18 years ago, actually. Do you know much about George and how he's come to have this particular challenge? Is he a veteran, or is this a birth defect that he has to play with his feet?
He actually was born this way. He was born in Romania, and the doctors thought he was cursed by God because he was born without limbs. So they pretty much left him in an orphanage to die. When he was 1 year old, he weighed 9 pounds, and it was literally days before the doctor said he was going to die that a family from Ashland, Virginia found him and adopted him. So they have George and 8 other kids who have been adopted and 3 of their own.
Well, God bless that family. Once again, the Commonwealth coming through in a big way. And we know that he started playing classical music on the cello, as I did in elementary school. But that's how he got into this and advanced to guitar and so forth. So beyond George, you said we also have a performance scheduled on March 16th down there for the 200th anniversary of the Governor's Mansion from the Virginia National Guard's 29th Division Rock and Roll Band. Who knew the National Guard had a rock and roll band to begin with?
Who knew? I tell you, but they are awesome. Lots of show tunes, movie themes, 80s rock and roll. So it's really fun. But the reason we had them, there's actually a significance to it, is because back in the 1800s, they would have weekend festivals on Capitol Square where families and children would come and just hang out, and it would be a big old event. But they always had a military band as the entertainment. So we thought it was a perfect fit to bring back the military band to represent how they did things when the mansion first came to be.
John, are you reserving the first dance with the First Lady, Maureen McDonald, down there during this event?
Well, Maureen McDonald has a history of dancing with very dapper and good-looking men. So I don't think I'm number one on the list, but I think hopefully I can talk my way into that.
That sounds good. Now, Sarah, by the way, we're speaking to Sarah Scarbrough, the executive director of the Governor's Mansion, which is celebrating its 200th anniversary on March the 16th. Now, I was alerted to this by a beautiful email blast that had a graphic of an old-style invitation on it, and I wondered, for those who didn't get one of those, who still want to attend, where could they go online to RSVP for this event and get more information?
Sure. Our website, it's executivemansion.virginia.gov, G-O-V. All of the information is there. There's a link to register. I will say it is free and open to the public, but we are encouraging folks to register so we could have an accurate head count.
So you don't run out of potato salad, of course. Now,
that's right.
On that website,
cake.
Yes, and cake. Now, on that website, you and I talked around the holidays, which was great. We got a lot of good response from that conversation, Sarah. There is a book about the Executive Mansion. Can you tell us about that and how that came about?
Sure. That was one of the first projects that the First Lady started this administration, and me being there at the mansion from the beginning was one of the first things I started working on as well, called First House, 2 Centuries with Virginia's First Families, was written by a fabulous Virginia author, Mary Theobald, and we have a great introduction written by another great Virginian, David Baldacci. And it really is a behind-the-scenes look into the mansion. So it's the history that intermingles everything that you always wanted to know, from the pets, pranks, children, weddings, funerals, just everything that has gone on for 200 years. And it is just a fabulous coffee table book, great pictures. And so the movie that evening is going to actually be called First House. So it is the book in a movie.
Oh, excellent. And,
very interesting.
You know, John, one of the things that Sarah hipped us to in terms of how the Governor's Mansion differentiated from the White House, especially during the holidays. The White House had 17 Christmas trees. The Governor's Mansion had 5. And the First Lady of the Commonwealth directed the decorations of all those. And I have only one question as we approach February the 8th here. Are those 5 Christmas trees finally down, Sarah?
They are. They came down on January the 14th. We kept them up for a little bit, and then we had to they weren't doing too hot anymore, so we had to dispose of them.
And before, I know we're just kidding around, before we let you go, we have to kind of remind people that John and I will be down there on March the 16th. That's Saturday. We're going to tape some interviews and so forth. We want to know if we are still on for that Virginia peanut versus Georgia peanut.
Yes, the peanut challenge.
The challenge.
Governor Deal says he is in.
Well, I could probably say that Virginia is in. Virginia will win, but we will humor you and make it into a little competition. I know our Secretary of Agriculture, Todd Haymore, would love to be a part of it as well.
I am accustomed and well-versed in being humored by women. I'm married. No problem. I get it.
At least you have learned well.
Yes, I'm a great study. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Hey, Sarah, tell us a little bit about Heritage Farm real quick before we go, because I know that's going to be a part of the celebration as well.
It is. We are so excited. It's a new contact for us through Grow RVA. It's a lady who has organized a great group. She is bringing a lamb with her, and there will be a lady that will actually be knitting wool there. We'll have a potter there who will be making pottery. We'll have a chef who will be doing a cooking demonstration. So a lot of really interactive and fun events that the kids who attend this event can take part in.
Will the lady who has the little lamb be named Mary by any chance?
I'm sure you could call her Mary that day if that would make you feel good.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it would. Sarah Scarbrough, PhD and executive director of the Governor's Executive Mansion, celebrating its 200th anniversary. And for those who don't know, by the way, John, this position comes in with a new governor. So if that isn't reason alone to stop the one-term rule for serving in the governor's
Makes
office,
no sense.
that makes no sense at all.
It's
Because
another one of those weird things about Virginia. So when the governor goes, Sarah goes, but hey, Sarah, here's my $64,000 question. When Governor McDonnell becomes president, are you going to take over the White House?
Well, I don't think that would be a bad gig, so we will have to see.
I think the title of Social Secretary for the White House for Sarah Scarbrough, Ph.D., would be a beautiful thing. Sarah, I can't thank you enough. As always, we appreciate the time, and please say hello to the governor and the first lady for us. We have them on quite often, but it's even better to talk to you about this, and we're really looking forward to March 16th, that Saturday. And again, folks, executivemansion.virginia.gov. That is the place to go, right?
That is right.
All right, Sarah, have a great weekend and stay warm down there. We'll talk to you very soon, and see you in March.
Okay, thanks so much. You all too.